Hello, and welcome back to Victoria 3. We are getting ready in just a few months to reclaim Colorado and Utah, and hopefully along with it, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. And by reclaim, I mean take for the first time in this timeline. Um, let's just take a look here at our market changes. Oil has dropped, which is nice, because we need oil to stay at a stable price. Fruit and fish are going up, but they're still relatively cheap, although they are like slightly above average, especially fish. Um, I don't know if I've ever explained these icons, by the way. So a base price is this right here, with a full stack on the right and one a silver stack specifically, and one coin on the left. Any more stacks is more expensive. When it changes to gold, it's significantly more expensive, and when it changes to bronze, it's significantly cheaper. And I don't have a good example of one that's very cheap right now. We could maybe go to the market and see what's cheap. Fine art is very cheap. I guess it could be copper maybe instead of bronze. Copper, silver, gold. It depends on whatever system you want to use. Speaking of our market, small arms are still really cheap. Artillery is relatively cheap. I'm happy with that. Coffee is very expensive, as is tea, and I believe we have some tea queued enough that I'm gonna leave that the way it is. Coffee, on the other hand, we have a lot queued in Oceania. We just haven't gotten to it yet, so we just got to let the game run, starting right now, and actually get through these 4.5, 5 years worth of construction that we have queued. We're trying to pass laissez-faire so that we can really shock our investment pool into life and really kickstart our economy here, because that will help us ease the transition to steel frame buildings, which is going to be very expensive. The Oregon border dispute. Oh, okay, this is new. All of these will complete if the western frontier has been mapped. Relations between the U.S. and Great Britain are above 20, and at least one of these. So we either have to own these three, or these three states, or we do these things. And I would rather not take them by force. So first of all, what is your opinion of me? We've been improving relations, so it's at 12. So let's continue to do that. And we should start mapping the frontier. I'm actually annoyed with myself that I didn't start doing this sooner. I meant to do this as soon as we took all this land over here. Send out an expedition to map the unknown geography of the western frontier. On our very doorstep is a land bursting with promise. We should seize that promise while we can. I know the person for the job. We will choose a leader. Alright, so we're going to potentially send a general on this. So we should pay attention to who we're choosing. A group of strong candidates have expressed their interest in leading the expedition. However, this is a decision we should not make lightly. The first to arrive was a well-dressed, fresh-faced, almost young gentleman whose keenness to impress was only matched by his willingness to oblige. His smile, as wide as one can imagine, was fashionably put together. "If I may," he politely said, presenting his credentials. So we could choose Eugene Thompson. So first of all, this is going to be very expensive. It's going to eat up almost 20k a week. While we're doing this, and these can take a while, these expeditions. But also, it's whatever general or admiral, in this case, we might choose is going to be out of commission for the duration of this expedition. So if we go to war, which we very likely will, they are not going to be available. So I would love to go with, I believe, Cornelius McCune. Now let me pull up your traits. Are you an explorer? You're not. Is Eugene Thompson an explorer? Even if he were, I don't think we could afford to let you go, and thankfully you're not. Y'all are actually almost identical. Or we could let Isaac Hull go, which I think might be a good idea, although that would basically get rid of our entire navy while he's doing this. But I think that might still be the ideal outcome here, because we're not really using our navy, and even if we go to war with Mexico, they don't have a navy. So unless we wind up going to war with a significant power who has a large navy, like Canada doesn't have a navy. Obviously, the big powers, France has 111, the UK, let's guess. I'm going to guess, it's going to be huge. It's going to be... I might be going way overboard. I'm gonna guess like 310, but it might be more in like the mid 200s. 162. Okay, never mind. I don't know why I thought it would be so preposterously large. Prussia's 13. Austria starts with 10. I know that because I was playing as them, but they're up to 105, which I'm very impressed by because they don't have a whole lot of land. So I'm very impressed. Austria is going hard. Their GDP is stagnant because they're not expanding and they're not building the right stuff. But Austria has a lot of potential. Like I said, I'm in my last episode, I'm playing Austria offline right now, and I'm the #1 power in the world by leaps and bounds. And my navy is also very, very big. Anyway, we're gonna send Isaac Hall and just hope that we don't have to use our navy for anything. So this we'll just get periodic updates about this here and there. Okay, first of all, popular playwright endorses reform. So we could get plus 10% enactment chance, plus 10% attraction to the industrialists, or plus 20 prestige forever. I will take the enactment chance. Bad news. Well, off to a bad start. When reaching one of their enclaves, a letter was waiting for Isaac Hull, stating that his fiancée back in the United States has married another man. Have we done this before? I think we may have tried to do this, and it failed. Now I'm having severe deja vu. Maybe I just did this in I did try to do this as Brazil, and I failed. I only tried it once, so maybe that's what's happening. But I think maybe in a previous episode we tried to do this, and I failed, because I swear we've had this event, and I remember saying it out loud into a microphone. So if we have done this, and I just explained all that about the expedition for no reason, I apologize. But for some reason, I don't remember doing it. Oh, how sorrowful the heart and heavy the mind. This traitor has bewitched my intelligence and poisoned my soul. Oh, how miserable. Oh, how desperate. If the gods of fate are fair and just, they will get this despicable woman her well-deserved end. Let the man mourn. We could lose progress, or we could gain progress but also gain peril. I don't want to gain peril. Peril is bad. So we're just going to lose progress. It's not like we had any progress to lose anyway. We literally just started. Now I believe, was it April 17th that our truce ends? July 14th. Okay, I don't know why that was April 17th. A couple more months, and we shall hopefully be able to reclaim an explorer's life for me. An insurgent group has emerged within the expedition, and 2 of the men have sneaked out in the middle of the night to go to a liquor store. Yeah, those famous liquor stores in uncharted rural Utah. And it's but we, you know, Captain, it's been a while since we're far from home, and hey, explorers will be explorers, right? We were just exploring in some other direction, but exploring nonetheless. These men need some discipline, reduce the peril, and delay the expedition, or gain progress in peril. Okay, well, we need to gain progress at some point, but we're gonna delay it uno mas. South Island is isolated. They don't have a port. Yeah, those are somewhere in here. Yeah. I'll push you to the front specifically. Also, California. You don't have a port, I don't think, but you're also not isolated. What's your, You're pretty close. I will push one of your ports to the top. We really need laissez-faire to pass as soon as possible here. Other than that, our expenses are creeping up. When the Earth opened its mouth, making their way through the mountains, the expedition finds a dangerous gorge. Their guide advises them to take a longer, more secure route instead of crossing it. At the mauvish beginnings of dawn, the shadows of the mountains become lilac imprints, carvings on the rocks that mimic their own figures as miniatures displayed in a museum. The gorge gets sharper and narrower, the mouth of the Earth directly pointed at us. Some hungers you cannot satiate. Our guide knows better. Delayed, or 50% chance of peril, 50% chance of minor progress. We gotta do something, man. So I'm gonna take the 50-50 here. I think we got the peril. Yeah. Sad. Although a lot of these expenses are because of our yeah, we're spending $10,000 a week on the hurricane relief for California, which was from a couple of episodes ago, and $18,500 a week on this expedition. So we're basically breaking even, actually, or we're like a little bit in the green if you don't count the temporary expenses. A large grizzly has been sighted up ahead. We could hang back and wait for it, or we could hunt it. Okay, we got identification documents. Don't really care, although we could increase home institution investment. 50-50 of good thing, bad thing, or 60 bad thing, 40 neutral thing. So I will take the 50-50s. Failure. Of course, this is the worst expedition in the history of expeditions. The expedition attempted to hunt the bear, but it went wrong. The hunt started off well enough, but too late we realized it was a mother bear with her cubs. It's a fact well appreciated that you never come between a mother and her cubs. Expedition gains peril. But we still technically have low peril. What is the, Yeah, we need to map the... So we have to actually successfully finish this expedition. The thing with Great Britain, our relations shouldn't be too much of an issue, assuming... Oh, we also can do this, by the way. Mexico and Guatemala. They were in here last time. Are you like a puppet or a... You're in an alliance with Mexico. I just don't want to attract the attention of great powers, and our infamy is still over 25, which is the first threshold, and even if we let it dip below 25, starting this is going to take it back above 25. So we're just going to make a save. I'll call this Utah, Colorado. And here we go. I would like Utah, and I want to add Colorado, if I can. There it is. Other than that, we will wait and see. I'm open to potentially taking Rio Grande, or Chihuahua, or Sonora. Let me look at the resources. Gold mines in Sonora, and iron mines. But I believe Rio Grande gets oil, although we probably don't have to worry about... We'll probably go to war again before oil becomes a thing. Lead, which we don't need. So I would probably go for Sonora first, but it also probably would take or give me the most infamy. Or I could just puppet Mexico after this, which would generate 75 infamy. That would put me well over 100, which is a ceiling I would really like to avoid going over, because that makes everyone like really want to kill you, and their like great powers will start cut down to size wars against you. Something I have learned the hard way in my Austria campaign. In the meantime, let's just... Oh, we're on speed 3. I was like, why are things going so slowly? Let's just wait. Now we're going back down to speed 3. As the expedition advances, the prioritization of tasks increase in importance, and Isaac Hull keeps a track of what every man must do. However, the disobedient explorers have already stated their non-agreement with this decision. Documents the new species of plants and flowers. Draw the animals, document them too. One of our men has the hand and talent of an artist, although his difficulties with the anatomy have already been questioned by a few members. Regardless, he's been of great help during this expedition. Most of the others are sent hunting as our journey leaves behind the mapped villages and roads that others followed before us. It is just us now, us in the wild. Oh, they backed down! You mother... Okay. Well, hunting must be prioritized would give us 50-50 of peril versus a hunting event, or 50-50 peril and peaceful intentions. It's imperative that we find a settlement. I've had this before. Man, now I'm really... I feel like I'm really having a stroke. Maybe I did... This was all in my Brazil campaign, and I just, like, cannot remember. But I had a baby, and we found a settlement, and they were nice to me because I had a baby. Was this all in this campaign? I really can't remember. I apologize if we've done all this before, but obviously we weren't successful, so we have to do it again. The nice concession. We have wrested control of the American Southwest from the illegitimate clutches of Mexico. The United States now stretches from the Atlantic to the Pacific. A beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human ears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico become homelands of American cultures, which means we can start incorporating California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada and Utah, I believe, were the ones they said. Yes. But not Colorado. Sad. Very annoying. And now we have another truce with Mexico until 1866. That's so freaking annoying. So that does give us a lot of time to burn this infamy. I would love to maybe do like a Spanish-American War at some point, but I believe we should take this time to burn the infamy, focus on our colonies, maybe puppet Hawaii, maybe go after like Haiti or something. And then look down here. So we are still chugging away in Kenya. And over here and down here. Everyone's kind of like in the same boat. We're just waiting on malaria prevention. Montana has low market access. So does DC. So does Utah and Alberta. First of all, let's look at Utah, since we just got you. You have paper mills doing normal stuff. Are all of our paper mills? Surely they're not. Okay, yeah. We should be on paper bleaching, although dye is very expensive. But I want paper to be cheap. So, we're going to do this, and then we're going to queue some dye plantations. We're going to queue a lot of dye plantations. We're going to do like 5, 5, 5, something like that. And we are going to bump like 3 of those. And then we're also going to start to look at market access in Utah. Well, you're in... Some of that's from turmoil, I guess. And some of it's because you're an unincorporated state. So I'm going to ignore these for now, but DC definitely needs more ports, which I believe are... Oh, they're not incoming. Okay. Well, I will bump one of you. And then, what are we... I'm assuming we are, but I just want to make sure we're using the maximum government administration output. And not all of us are, apparently. Paper, paper, paper. Snow on the ground. Some members of the expedition have expressed concern that the weather is turning against them. They insist on hunkering down to avoid the worst of it. The layers of snow kept growing like untreated tumors, a huge white, a great white, and the reflection of it making our eyes sore and hurt. If we don't stop now, maybe we won't be able to stop anymore. One of the men shivers as he rubs his arms, lips as pale as our shadow over the snow. He doesn't say a word. Press on. Man, this is like the... I can't... Everything... We've just gotten bad after bad. 50-50 of survive the snow or lost in the snow, or delayed. I mean, I just want something to happen. We're lost in the snow. Of course we are. Why wouldn't we be? What the fuck is this? Unfortunately, the expedition got caught in a snowstorm. A few members died and several supplies were lost. Gain peril and the expedition continues. Poor visibility, biting cold, and on top of it, all the gnawing feeling that I had made an error in judgment. Well, that sucked. For 5 years, we get minus 10% prestige and authority, and but he becomes an explorer, which gives him extra popularity and expedition opportunity. The chance that more good things than bad will happen on expeditions. So if we send him immediately back out there, which I think we can do, hopefully he has a better chance. Away you go. First, let me just see. Yes. All right, cool. Try again. How much longer on our cyclone relief, by the way? 15 months. That'll free up 10k a week. That's 4 years. But we get plus 20 legitimacy. This, I would really love it if this went through in 40 days. Please, 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 please. I'm so mad that Mexico backed down. I mean, like, it makes sense they weren't going to win, but it's just a very frustrating system. Come on, please. There's a pretty good chance. You mother... More pragmatically inclined members of the rural folk, currently opposed to the passing of laissez-faire, have offered to change their stance were they to be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the industrialists, however. Compromise makes a good umbrella, but a poor roof It is a temporary expedient, often wise in party politics, almost sure to be unwise in statesmanship. So A, I want to say I'm making a concerted effort to slow down when I'm reading these things. I keep getting my tongue twisted up and saying things incorrectly. I know it's not that big of a deal, but it annoys me when I'm listening back to these things, and I'm talking too fast. There's a lot of information in this game, as I'm sure you're well aware. So I'm just going to try to slow down and make sure I'm saying things correctly. The industrialists would be upset, but I don't really care. I just want to see what they're at right now. Yeah, they're very happy, so that's perfectly fine. So yeah, we're going to do that. That'll put us at almost 50% chance. We are, like, now, our money is red instead of white, which means even if we got rid of the... That can't really be true. I thought that when it was red, that meant, even if you got rid of your temporary expenses, you would still be losing money, but I don't think that's the case. So now I don't know why it's red. Maybe just because we're under 50%, or over 50% of our credit limit. Either way, I'm still not super worried. Yeah, our income exceeds our expenses. We're just using a bunch of credit. In efficient agriculture, I always say yes to this. Are you incorporated yet, by the way? You should be, right? Yes, cool. And you guys should be coming in hot in about a year and a half. We haven't had anything about this expedition. Hopefully he's figured stuff out. He's our Lewis and Clark. How old are you, by the way? You're 89. Holy shit! The Miracle of Life. Oh yes, this is a good event. I think. I mean, it can be good at least. The expedition is waking up in the middle of the night. Inhuman screams come from one of the tents, and a female voice cries, "Baby!" The miracle of life. How less of a miracle it was, and how much of a torture it seemed when looking at that poor woman giving birth. The screams couldn't be stopped for at least 2 more hours, and all of our scarce medicines were allocated to such terrifying labor. To what extent they seem to work, I must confess that my hopes are low, and that I wish this woman a simpler life after this calvary. We will take care of the baby, or it is best for both of them to go back to a village. We will take care of the baby. Even though we could have gained guaranteed progress, I think it's good to have the baby with us. German people are moving to Gabon. Not something you see every day. Let's look at our prices. Clothes are quite expensive. That's bad for standard of living. So, the problem is we're just not making... I mean, we are making progress, but we're making such slow progress in this construction queue. But I can't really afford to build faster at the moment. You're not all on sewing machines. You're all on dye workshops. So yeah, use sewing machines. That'll make tools expensive and fabric expensive and dye expensive. None of you are making luxury clothes. Not a single one of you. That is not ideal. But it's also like, I just need clothes to be, what if I put you on craftsman sewing? I think that would be okay. I need clothes to be affordable for people. We have quite a few making luxury furniture. How is that doing? It's actually kind of cheap. What about regular furniture? Regular furniture is expensive, so I'm actually willing to say Wyoming, whenever you get up and running, don't make luxury furniture. Alright, remember when I said these things build quickly? Apparently food industries don't build as quickly as I thought they did. Mountain sighted. A member of the expedition has suggested we do tour to climb the mountain and claim it in the name of the United States of America. One of the expedition members had his eyes locked on the mountain. It's a good risk, my friend, he says. I don't think anyone has claimed this one yet. Imagine how they'd pay us back home, all for this insignificant rock. Snow slides down the mountainside and melted like threads of gray cotton. Excellent idea. 50-50 we reach the summit, or we have mountainside issues, or we can't spare the time. Let's just make progress. We have improved fertilizer, so now we can, make more fertilizer with our chemical plants, and we can use more fertilizer with all of our farms. And it leads to nitrogen fixation, so let's start on our farms. We just want to use as much fertilizer as possible here. I want you, by the way, on condensing pump. Oh my god. Why am I on picks and shovels? I did not realize. That's going to make such a... We're going to get so much more money. That was like an extra 17, 18K. Well, that solves our economy issues. That is really funny. And we've looked through that already in previous episodes. Yeah, now let's look at our chemical industry. What is the state of fertilizer demand? Fertilizer is quite expensive, so we should do this, which will increase the consumption of iron. How's steel, by the way? Steel's pretty expensive. We just need more like iron, steel, and coal. We need everything. Coal. I'm just going to add a little bit of those for now. Iron. I'll do that. Public address goes awry. You have got to be fucking with me. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of laissez-faire by Hazen Norcross. You were our president at one point, right? Or no, you were the guy who donated the university in Tennessee. Fumbling his way through a series of poorly presented talking points, Hazen Norcross's arguments have been viciously and convincingly picked apart by his political opponents. The question on everyone's lip now is merely if this mishap was due to inherent failings of laissez-faire, or can be chalked up down to the political incompetence of the industrialists. Minus 15% chance or minus 10% chance, and the industrialists lose popularity. And he's 37, but it only lasts 5 years. So yeah, I'm going to say that's your fault. Gold has been discovered in South Island. Spread the word. Or gold fields building throughput. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I don't need a ton of people in the South Island. Do you have any gold mines? Just gold fields. Well, in terms of... we could get you like a whaling industry going, probably. Other than that, I don't really know what I'm going to have for you. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we've rocketed this back up from like 170 weeks to 250 weeks. We got to get steel frame buildings. Which we are on the verge of being able to potentially... We're currently researching shrapnel artillery. I might immediately cancel that, because it's not like we lose progress that we've made, and go for steel frame buildings. Just because we got to do something, although that's going to be expensive, but we got to do something about the construction lag here. And we need to do something about it. Sorry, I just said the same thing twice. I don't know what I was going to say when I said we need. Anyway, back up to speed 5 we go. We need laissez-faire. That's what I was going to say. Is we need laissez-faire to... I think that's like the key to making steel frame buildings affordable, is letting our investment pool go crazy. The armed forces are concerned about the people favoring the industrialists. I'm going to pause for a second. I have a bunch of events. You're -2, you're +12. I'm fine with making that swap. A stop on the way. With the low temperatures of the mountains, the expedition finds a perfect meadow to take shelter, near the river and far enough from any other village to not disturb their land. An encampment using cottonwood lumber cut from the riverbanks is suggested by Isaac Holt. It was an unusually cold month when the range of mountains announced their unmerciful judgment before us. As the sun started to set, a glistening light penetrated in the canopy of trees, making the shadows tremble and the raindrops cover the brown, almost dead grass. Our expedition was tired, and that tiredness of the soul, far from home and close to the ocean, became much more tangible when the last rays illuminated their swollen faces. This place is the perfect place to build a fort. This will reduce the current peril and delay the expedition. We have low peril. We cannot afford this delay. We're going to go forward. Grave danger! How do you go from low peril to grave danger? Are you for real? Oh my god. Questionable practices. Release patients from the Washington Asylum. We've had this before. So, -2 for the trade unions for 5 years. You're already quite unhappy with me. Good God. Plus 21.6k for 5 years to increase the standing of the lower and middle strata in DC alone. Or make the interest groups happy and tank the bureaucracy. That's an easy decision. It's going to lead to tax waste. Yeah, that led to a big drop in our income, which is really annoying. But hopefully we can get over that. low market access in all of these places. Undiscovered plant species. A member of the expedition has asked for a few days to stop and collect samples of a previously unknown plant species. Of course, get 5% prestige for 5 years, or we gain progress. I really want to get rid of the peril, please. I believe the blue bars are progress. Swollen river. Please, please, please. The expedition members come across a river that is bursting at the banks. They can try to raft across, which will be quick but dangerous. Alternatively, they could search for a more suitable place to cross. This will take some time. Better to be safe. Why don't you lower the peril, though? Is that so much to ask? We're nearing the end of this episode, but I would like to maybe see if we can get some resolution on this event or on our laissez-faire. Polish people are moving to Kenya. Cool. We are just about done. We have like... Yes! We have like 2 or 3 provinces left in Kenya, 1 over here and 1 or 2 over here. So now, we have a smaller interest rate, which is really nice because we have we have 11.5 million in debt. So our interest rate went down 25%. So looks like that only saved like 3 or 5K. But all of a sudden, look at this investment pool transfer. It's jumped up considerably, and it's only going to go up from here, which means building will be more affordable, which means hopefully we can enable steel frame buildings quite soon. Industrialists are happy. The rural folk and the trade unions are upset. Trade unions were already upset, but now they're actually, what's funny, even after this, they're higher than they were. Maybe this, I think this is already factored in. I think even trying to pass a law that an interest group doesn't like gives them the opinion malice, even if you don't wind up passing it. It's only when you cancel trying to pass it that the malice goes away. And now they're going to start a movement to try to restore interventionism with decent support in radicalism, but that's okay. So yeah, we're going to see our radicals jump up here in a minute. I don't care. And the rural folk and the southern planters want to remove the ability for women to own property. It's very on brand. But this is the end of this episode. Disappointing that we didn't get to go to war with Mexico, but we did get the Max concession event, and we did... we're hopefully... I don't know. I'm very annoyed, because this expedition is actually going quite well for the most part. We took literally a single event that increased our peril, and I was willing to do it because it said we had low peril. And I know there's a medium peril, and I think there's even a high peril before grave danger, and we went straight from low to grave danger. I don't know how that is possible, but it just happened. So I'm going to be pretty annoyed if this fails, to be honest with you. But that's the way of the world, I guess. Our relations with the UK are where we need them to be. Our infamy is burning off. We're down to 22. So we can maybe start to look for more areas of opportunity for expansion. We should, as soon as we can, honestly, try to go for malaria prevention, but it's still, like, it's going to be a few more years before that's really feasible. We should also try to get some more innovation by building more universities, but to do that, we need more construction output. And to do that, we need to do quite a few things. So that'll all be for future episodes. Thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please leave a like and subscribe and comment. It helps out tremendously. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.